If you're eating fucking potatoes, there's no protein in potatoes.
I understand life gets busy and stuff like that, and I'm completely understanding of that.
Getting healthy and being healthy and staying healthy is really a important priority to you. Then you would make the necessary sacrifices in order to, like, because they have different bodies, they have different goals. Everybody's different, right? The one thing that I always do with every plan, like genuinely,
At some point you have to like just wake up.
you have to specify. Without specificity, nothing's really going to be accomplished.
Like I was up at 5 a.m. every day because I was working breakfast at the time, taking creatine and stuff like that every day. Like you have to be hitting your water.
Well, most people. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people, planets, everything in between, different genders and races, and human races, planets. I said that already. Welcome to, I don't know which episode of the Start Yesterday podcast, because I have not figured out the chronological order. However, this is definitely after episode 7. That's the only thing I know for sure. I'm here as your host, the guy, the mic with the mouth, or the mouth with the guy. I don't know. I'm Puffy. The Start Yesterday podcast. I'm not the greatest podcast host. It's more a matter of having like a good conversation. And so instead of me doing this whole monologue and introing the guests, which I guess other podcast hosts do, I'd rather them intro themselves. So I guess, Josh, take it from here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. My name's Joshua De Silva. I work as a chef at the Keg Steakhouse and Bar. And obviously, as a side business right now that I'm looking to transition into a full business, running Stormbreak Fitness.
You gotta talk it into reality, bro. You gotta be like, it's gonna be reality. By the time this comes out, it'll be full. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Law of attraction.
We're almost there.
But for those of you in attendance, and the millions and millions watching at home, people didn't know, but well, some people didn't know I had a meal prep company. And Josh was an integral part of the Puffy gang originally. I guess we'll get into like your journey, but for people that don't know and how I met Josh, we have an incredible amount of similarities. We're both unbelievably handsome, and we both have a lot of tattoos. We both like wrestling. We both get asked if we're gay because we watch half naked men wrestle each other. No, I'm joking.
Pretty much,
but it is pretty funny. It's a very non-gay thing, but like people think. Okay, anyways, getting off topic. What else is new? But there's a lot of similarities, and we're both unbelievably fit. Like I just woke up this morning and used my washboard abs to do my laundry. I know Josh has the struggle as well.
Yeah,
this motherfucker looks like fucking Canadian Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm gonna pull your shit up on the screen in a second. Like it's actually ridiculous. But I lost weight, so like I have that. I can use the excuse that I began there.
Yeah. We all start somewhere.
Everybody's got to start somewhere. Do you have like a before and after picture?
Not available readily.
You can send it. Send it. Well, that's if you want. But I like to start every podcast. Obviously, people like know me. I like to start every podcast. You know, you introduce yourself. You have like your fitness thing. You work as a chef. We knew each other from. I was looking for. I don't know actually how we met. I think we just had mutuals on Instagram, and then you reached out when I was like looking for help, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then we sparked up a pretty good friendship because we have a lot of commonalities, hobbies, and then. Well then, yeah, we'll go into like I guess your sob story. I everybody laughs. Like I mean, okay, like I'm very vulnerable and open. Like you don't have to talk about stuff like you talk to your therapist about. Like you know, but I guess everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a message. Everybody's got a starting point, and that's really motivational and helpful for other people to hear their stories, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I guess take it from here. Like I guess there's really no right or wrong answer to answer this. You know.
So basically. The reason I got into fitness or wanted to start losing weight, like I've always worked in kitchens my whole life. It's been a big part of what I've done in terms of career with you. I went to culinary school in 2018, but prior to that I was working at Harvey's. So, you know, we were eating good. The metabolism was running high school days. And then I just started having a lot of health problems. And not that any that were diagnosed, but just my overall feeling sluggish, tired, stuff like that.
ASMR. That's to the listeners watching this. Like, he drank some iced coffee.
No, but yeah. So I don't know. Just one day it felt like, you know, you're not supposed to be getting chest pains. just random chest pains throughout the day. You're a relatively active person. At this point, I haven't worked out. Like, this is probably 2017, 2018. So I start going to the gym, whatever. I work at my uncle's, leave Harvey's, begin just doing the complete opposite of what I would do now and just cut out all carbs and was just eating protein and veggies. Did that for probably 6 months before I hated my life. And then I started to just kind of get a better understanding of just overall health, how food affects your day-to-day just energy levels. And then I started taking it more seriously probably when I got with my trainer in 2018, 2019.
What a concept.
Right?
You hired a coach?
Yeah.
You got results?
Right? Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
One of the things I tell my clients all the time is just like, yo, I'm like, I have a coach.
Yeah.
I was like, even though I'm where I'm at, like, I still need a coach. I've tried the whole not coaching yourself, and you need someone just to guide you the whole way.
I think almost not even just bodybuilders, but almost everybody who at one point like had a coach and then like gone off and like tried to do it on their own, or they think they don't need a coach and did it on their own, they then got back with their either original coach or got another one, because it's like you don't know everything and you need the accountability, you need the motivation.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And even like understanding your body to the point where, I mean, we're at, but like obviously new clients, stuff like that, like just weighing yourself every day, knowing how your body changes, knowing if you have a cheat day tomorrow, you're probably going to wake up 4 pounds heavier, but did you gain 4 pounds? No.
And you need that reassurance. Like, because if it's just you versus, if it's just you telling yourself that, you're probably not going to believe it. And then you're going to like, not binge it. You're probably going to go like have bulimia in the bathroom. That's not going to help.
Exactly. And that's like the complete opposite of what I preach. Cause like, even when people leave me, I want them to be able to leave with being smarter about nutrition and wellness just as a whole.
Yes.
Right.
Definitely.
Like I would want you to leave me knowing that you should have a high protein diet. You should be tracking how much fats you eat, because those things we both know they catch up to you fast. Mm-hmm. Right. So I try to like impart that wisdom so that way one day you don't need me theoretically. Right. But you still have those habits.
No, that's a really good point. Like I feel like there are trainers or industries like, you know, Good Life, whatever, like they're designed to like keep you dependent on the trainer or the coach for like the rest of your life, right? Mm-hmm. Like I worked there, and like there was people over my tenure that looked the exact same and they never changed, and they had a trainer, and it's just like to each their own, right? But I have the same ideology or principles where it's like, yeah, I've had clients and I worked with clients for years, but that's not because they needed to, they wanted to. There's a giant difference.
Yes.
So we did our job well is after like 6 or 12 months, like that person or client, like they don't necessarily need us or they don't depend on us. I think that's setting themselves up for failure, and it's being a bad coach.
Yeah.
Right. If it's like you're holding all this information back, or you're constantly getting your client to rely on you, which is a part of coaching, but like it shouldn't be dependent on you. There's a giant difference, right? Yes. It's because like they want to, they don't need to. For the first little bit, you kind of need it.
Yeah,
and then it's a matter of like, I want to do the check-in, I want to work out, I want to send you my form to like try. So for you, like, I guess what launched you into the fitness journey? You had the heart thing?
So I just overall, like, through high school, I played sports, everything like that. I was always active. The second I stopped being active, that's where the food came up to me. And I'm not talking like these baby meals. Like, I'm talking like I'm eating a double Angus with a poutine every day at lunch type of thing. Like, so I'm eating way in the excess of like fats, everything. Like, it's just a coronary waiting to happen. Right? So it was overall for health to begin it. Like, it had nothing to do with like, it turned into like a bodybuilding show and everything. But just starting into it, I was always into fitness, but never took it seriously. And that was just the leap that made me just change it. And I guess it was just a switch that hit me with like my nutrition and everything, because it kind of just caused a snowball effect.
Gotcha. So what happened with the heart palpitations? Did you ever figure that out?
It was just, I think it was just literally, I honestly don't know, because I haven't experienced that in years.
Harvey's.
Yeah.
Harvey's wieners.
Too many it was like a poutine with like chicken strips cut in with gravy with like more cheese curds. Like,
yeah, that'll do it.
It was like not healthy at all. And like, you're talking about like smoking weed on your breaks and then just coming back and crushing like Harvey's. Like, this is what the day-to-day life was for 5 days a week, right? And like no activity either. So it all just really caught up to me, I think. And that was like just the thing to be like, okay, maybe start figuring out your health.
So then you started, or were always like in the chefy industry or as a chef or a cook, and then you started to do the training, right?
Yeah. So I was working under at my uncle's, and then I think probably I want to say COVID, the first year is when I did my can fit to get my actual personal training license and got that all done with.
Yeah.
But it was always something that intrigued me because people saw the way I looked, the way I was like eating everything and how like serious I took it. So I guess it just made them think, you know, like maybe I'll look into this. So I had already been asked about it, like for just family members, stuff like that, like with meal plans here, doing this there. Right. So by the time it came to actually doing it, I kind of was already in that space of like wanting to just help people overall. Right. So that was the main thing that the chef part aspect of it happened. But
yeah, like lead by example.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, and that's what I always preach to. And that's why I like having a lot of clients, because you have someone then looking up to you. Right. So it's almost like you have an obligation, not just to yourself, but to them, to basically practice what you preach and like show them that, yes, if I can do it, you definitely can do it. Right. Because I'm a big believer in like we all have the same 24 hours. And I understand life gets busy and stuff like that. And I'm completely understanding of that. But at some point you have to like just wake up, essentially, right? And like
it's not a matter of you're too busy, it's a matter of your priorities and where that given thing or that workout or that meal prep lies in your priorities.
Exactly.
And chances are it's like not at the top, it's way at the bottom, and that's why you don't fucking do it.
Exactly.
Right. And like, yes, people have kids, people have a job, people have whatever, they have X, Y, and Z, but like if getting healthy and being healthy and staying healthy is really a fucking important priority to you, then you would make the necessary sacrifices in order to like change, in order to like keep it off.
Exactly.
Right. So like I guess there's a lot to get into, but
we got time.
We have a lot of time. So when you started doing the training, is there anything specific or that you're happy with? I mean, your recent transformation with your tattoo artist, that's fuck.
Yeah.
We're not going to show it yet, but eventually, probably by the time this comes out, you'll post it.
Yeah.
Because for those of you who don't know, which is pretty much everyone watching this, you did like a trade barter with your tattoo guy, right?
Yeah. So I'd been going to my tattoo artist at this point for like, I don't know, 3-4 years. Like he was solely the guy I would go to, my chest, my arms, everything. So he was definitely out of shape, and he knows it too. He, I think, at his heaviest weighed 260. Yeah. I don't know if that's correct, or it could have been 240, but I just got him onto a training plan that, because I mean, I had seats open in my thing, and I just offered it to him like without any thought of getting anything in return, right? Just kind of gave him a meal prep, just said, you know, do what you can, start slow, right? And then we slowly progressed up. Like it wasn't anything to affect me, so I wanted to just help him. Mm-hmm. And he probably lost over at this point like 60 to 70 pounds total. Yeah. Right. Feels way better. Says he wants to lose, literally saw him today, and he said he wants to lose 20 pounds by October. So the fact that I'm trying to gain the same amount of weight, he kind of wants to keep up with me, which is, again, having clients to push you and keeping yourself in that same circle of like, yeah, I'm training you, but we're still pushing each other type of thing. Right.
Yeah.
So he lost a fuckload of weight, and it was just insane to see it, like, because I barely did anything for him, and he just put his head down, did the work. Now apparently he does like fasts every like 2 weeks or something like that, right? So he's really like just gone into it, like the holistic and nutrition wellness about it.
So other than him, was there any other like clients that you've had, or clients that you've had, or your own personal like successes, or like, I don't know, 1RMs or anything like that?
Lately for 1RMs for me,
it's probably going to go up and up and up. Yeah.
I hope so. I mean, the highest I've hit, I mean, I probably will never RM deadlift again, because that is just...
It's not. It's a recipe for disaster.
No. Yeah, exactly. The last time I almost passed out, it was...
What's your heaviest?
4...
Oh, that's baby.
4 something,
baby weight.
Yeah, baby weight.
I did 600 once, and I'm done.
Yeah, I tried 515 that day that 4 whatever was moving, and that was a bad move.
You blacked out?
Yeah, I was about to black out, but I think I just threw my back out before I could even lift it. It wasn't even budging.
Nice.
So, and squat I think is like 405. So that I think I can get up. So we're gonna try that. But I've always had like a bum knee, so I think I have like some sort of tendonitis in it.
Well, you do a lot of soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, he looks like David Beckham.
I get Zlatan a lot, but
Zlatan, actually, now that you say it,
a little ponytail, yeah,
and that's better because you have the personality. You have the personality, like yeah.
Are you calling me cocky?
No, not necessarily, but like it's like I can't remember. David Beckham's like arrogant. Zlatan is cocky, but like in a I know I'm like I
will
own
beat
this
you.
shit.
I will
right?
beat you.
I bought the newspaper.
Yeah.
Like I am in the article. I bought that's one of my favorite Zlatan stories. I think it was when he went to the LA Galaxy and he's like he got transferred from like AC Milan to the LA Galaxy to the MLS basically, and he took out the entire newspaper article and he bought the newspaper and he was like, LA, you're welcome. Sign Zlatan.
That's all it said.
Yeah.
Literally. And no one has ever had that type of aura.
No.
There was a guy that league that he was being compared to, and he's like, how old is he? In his prime at the MLS? Where was I?
Yeah.
And it was just like the most I'm him moment. It's like, yeah, I was already conquering Europe when this guy was in America making headlines. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but you're big into soccer. That's really good, but that's also not really helpful with your knee.
Yeah, no, not at all. But yeah, we're probably gonna squat max for sure, and then chest. I got a baby chest, so I'm gonna talk about that, right?
No,
no, 225.
Ah, look, okay, you gave the 225. That's I think the bare essential to like take a chicken on a date, right? There's actually a study done like by Jeff Nippert. He actually did a YouTube video recently where it was like, does more plates equals more dates?
Yeah.
And
I seen that. Yeah, I haven't watched that.
Technically yes, technically no. I mean, it was actually very fascinating where like the guys had like this unrealistic expectation where they wanted to basically have a physique of a guy on steroids without going on steroids.
Yeah.
And they thought that would equate to more dates. But then the females were like kind of in the middle. They didn't really give a shit. And the analysis that I find with most chicks asking them, or just in general with like a lot of media that I see, and also that like, well, he technically did a study. It was like 100 or 1,000 people that he had, was they care like, you have to have some physical attraction and attributes. They care about personality. They care about if you're strong. Like, I mean, if you're trying to get a fitness chick, you probably need to bench 2 plates.
Yeah.
But then if you have like somewhat of a dad bod, who gives a shit? Because you don't like, you know, having shredded abs, like that's so unrealistic. And then it's like, you know, and you could probably attest to it. When you were super fucking lean, you were just eating chicken breast and broccoli all the time. Yeah, you couldn't take a chick out to date like for dinner.
Yeah, you're cutting heavy. Like even this year, I got down to like 185, and then I looked similar to like I did for my show for 175. So I think I have put on more mass. But I would just like make it easy. I would have ground beef and probably veggies. Yeah. And then I would my chicken was just like a full chicken breast. So I would just make a lettuce sandwich at work. I'd put like confit garlic and caramelized onions. So
that's pretty good though,
like
actually.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty good.
You're adding a little bit of fat, but screw that.
But that's much better than most people that are.
But that's what I mean, right? So I was like, and my breakfast was the only content thing, which is like egg whites and protein powder and oats. So nothing.
Yeah, it's bland. But the point is, like when anybody's staying that lean year round, like
you can't.
It makes sense. Like for me, that's why I preach like sustainability and consistency. Like I'm not saying you have to go and like binge eat and eat like 10,000 calories, but like, you know, from a social setting, a lot of things that we do is revolving friends. And I mean, I don't really drink. Yeah. Sure, alcohol aside, like you go out, you eat, you go, whatever you do, if you're going out for a couple of hours, your body just requires energy in, energy out. You need to eat food, right? So if you're trying to stay super, super lean, unless you're like one of one genetics or you're on some type of PED, like you're not going to be able to do that.
Oh, 100%. Right?
And so I think a lot of females actually understand that, where it's like, you know, you want to go to the cottage and drink some beer. Who gives a shit? Like, I mean, you don't want to be fat, but there's a happy medium. I would say like the sweet spot is like 13 to like 20% body fat.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
So if you really wanted to, like in about 2 weeks, if you did a hard cut, you could get like me, like literally right now, if I really wanted to, I could like, well, I am not really able to have abs. Like, but if I was a normal person, like that didn't have skin removal surgery, then yeah. I mean, if I cut down like super lean, I could get a nice little 2-pack.
Yeah, you could get there.
No, I could get like
100%.
I was there when I went before I went to Europe. I had like literally like a little 2-pack. And I was cool with that. I was happy with that.
Yeah, right? That's good. But in my instance, like I don't think I've ever met a girl that was like really looking for a guy with steroids or anything like that. Every time I've joked about it, like just even like people at work, and I would be like, I'm gonna start my cycle soon, and they'll be like, no one likes that, no one's attracted to that. I've had girlfriends tell me the same thing, and I was like, I'm like, if you're doing that, like I'm not shaming you if you do 100%, like
each their own,
right? But for me personally, if I'm not going for my pro card, doing something like that, what am I gonna?
No, I completely agree.
Right?
It's gonna fuck up on so many things. The only caveat I would say to that, or the only thing I would argue, is TRT, which if people don't know is testosterone replacement therapy. It's definitely something I'm gonna have to do.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I got my blood test. I qualify for it. I went to a TRT clinic and I qualified for it. It's just something like I don't really want to necessarily pull the trigger on where I'm at with my age. I'm trying to figure out sleep and this and that. Like that's
there's a lot of outliers that you can use to affect it.
But yeah, steroids in general is not really necessary. And
Yeah.
like, I mean, if you look at, I mean, not to gloat, I do have a decent physique, but if you take you for example, you have like a god tier physique, right? And like, you are too, I guess, humble to admit it, but like you genuinely fucking look like a soccer player, like David Beckham, Zlatan, like especially like right now you look jacked as fuck, right? So
I appreciate that.
But I'm saying that not to like, and no, we're not going to turn the cameras off. I'm not going to suck your dick, but it's possible, and my point is, it's possible. You're literally living, physical, breathing proof that it's possible to have a really, really fucking good physique. Now there are outliers to that, like genetics and your work ethic, and like you're consistent on a meal plan and workout and all that jazz, and also genetics. Like you're not like of an Indian background, right? And there's nothing wrong with being Indian if you're watching this. It's just typically your genetics. Like you're not most people like with your background, like because of your culture, and also what's it called? Like most of you are vegetarian. Like you just, and genetic speaking, like Indians as a whole, like they didn't like eat that much, and they didn't grow that much muscle, right? You're, I think, Portugal or Portuguese, right?
Portuguese,
right. So I mean, if we were to look back, I went to Portugal actually in May. It's a beautiful place.
Oh, I went in February, yeah.
And I went to Porto, and I went to
beautiful. Did you have francesinha?
That's the thing where they had like
covered in gravy.
Honestly,
sandwich?
It turned me off. No, but I did have really good pork. They had like a really good pork sandwich. It was really cheap too.
Oh yeah, the bifanas.
Yeah.
Oh, they have those everywhere, like $3. It's insane.
I had like 3 of them. They were
insane.
Really good.
Portugal's still the gem that hasn't been discovered by tourists yet, I feel like, in terms of like the price gouging.
Oh, in terms of price gouging, yeah. But when I was there, and it was like not even like peak tourist time. Like it was really, really, really busy. But I guess it's going to get worse. But my point is, like, of that, I guess, Middle Eastern, European descent, it's just more like work. I can't say work ethic. It's just like genetics. That's the easiest way to put it. Not to shit on any Indians. I'm not like trying to like start a fucking culture riot. It's just typically they don't have like the greatest, I guess, genetics, right? How do we get on this topic? We started talking about like more plates, more dates, and then steroids and shit like that.
Yeah, steroids.
But yeah, I think the one takeaway with that is like unrealistic expectations that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
But you're a very good proof. Like if you dive in, you take action, you're motivated, and you're like have good work ethic, and you're consistent with a lot of things, like you have a very good physique. I have even a decent physique, right? So it's not like, and we're not on steroids. We're not like going to the gym 7 hours a day.
No,
you know what I mean?
You're getting your workouts in. You're prioritizing your macronutrients, right? And I think that's the most you can ask of it. And if you want to make any changes, or you're not just maintaining, then great. I mean, one thing. It's funny you say that. One thing I tell my clients too is, oh wait, is it slipping me? I think I'm losing it. Fuck. But we'll get back to that. But I tell them that comparing themselves to others, just you're taking away from your own journey. You know what I mean? Like you should be competing with yourself and not everyone else and what you see around you. Yeah,
it's you versus you at the end of the day. At the beginning of the day, at the end of the day. Like it's not a matter of X, Y, or Z. It's literally just like playing the comparison games gets you fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Unless it's like the only time or the only caveat to that would be like if like you're going on a stage, right? And like exactly. You're literally gonna like you're following your competition, right? Then that might give you like that extra motivational push, but is that really healthy? I don't know. But
exactly.
Other than that, very rare nuance, like comparing yourself to other people, like genuinely, like what good is that at all with really anything?
Yeah. Whether
it's business or health or like, you know, if you're working at 9 to 5 and you're and Bob's comparing himself to Jimmy, like, is that going to get Bob to fill the Excel sheet out faster? Like,
exactly.
You know, not really.
No.
You'd just be like, I mean, maybe like you could ask him how he's more productive, but then that's not really comparing yourself.
But you're just going to get the answers that
that's you taking action and like, you know, so in terms of, I guess, your ideology or philosophy with like training, is there anything specific that you do?
No, I prescribe pretty basic plans. I mean, I'll adjust the plan given extenuating circumstances. If you have injuries, like I'll work around those, right? And certain people are definitely, I'm starting to get a lot different progression levels where I'll have one client here who's worked out his whole life, knows the biomechanics, everything like that, and our like consult session is great because I always do a consult session just to see because with online training it is a lot of liability, so you do have to worry about how they're doing the exercise, making sure they're doing it correctly so they're not going to throw out their back, they're not going to fuck something up long term and then you get sued,
Well,
right?
it's really hard. That's debatable. It's really hard to sue someone if they sign an injury and liability
Yeah,
waiver.
exactly.
If you're not getting people to sign that, that's, you should
Yeah.
probably fucking do that, bro.
Yeah. But don't worry.
But on that note, it's important on the aspect of having a coach, not just for the motivation standpoint, but also from a form standpoint.
And safety.
That's one of the biggest reasons I still work with and have a coach, is so he can critique and analyze my form.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, I'm pretty aware, like, I know what I'm doing.
Yes.
It also helps someone rewatch footage knowing, like, okay, you had one left in the tank, or, you know, engage your lats more, or strengthen your, or pull in your glute, like things of like that nature, like those subtle cues that you're not necessarily going to remember. Well, you're not going to have if you're not there in person, and you don't need in person. In person, I think is, I wouldn't say it's dying. I would just say it's becoming,
it's not irrelevant.
It's becoming less relevant. And the only reason being is, well, there's two reasons. One, economically, and then two, the amount of value that someone can provide online, if they're not a moron and they actually care about their business and their product and their service, comparatively to in person, honestly could be more than in person versus online.
Well, yeah, if you have that coach still being able to respond to you and being able to watch everything you do, that's like a lot of these apps now, like not even apps.
Nah,
like if you let's say, for example, were to follow like Jeff Nippert and you like had a YouTube account and made a thing, you could probably get a pretty good workout plan from it. Right? Like in terms of like the actual structure of the workout, I feel like a lot of trainers are the same, and like you'll have your rare one that'll throw in different movements that'll actually help the person. But for most of them, it's very bodybuilder type, like just lifting weights type like that. But
well, that goes with a lot of industries, but especially in this industry, there's a lot of copy and paste, like genuinely, like they are going to press Control-C, Control-V and just change the name of the Word document to yours.
Exactly.
Right. And I mean, the one thing that I always do with every plan, like genuinely every plan that I make for every client is unique and different. Well, because they have different bodies, they have different goals, you know, they might have different gym equipment, different preferences, different schedules, different X, Y, and Z. And we'll get into nutrition in a bit, but this is just simply from an exercise standpoint, like everybody's different, right? And so you have to specify. And if without specificity, nothing's really going to be accomplished, because that's why these generic apps or generic group workout plans or classes, they don't really yield tangible results. Now, I'm not shitting on group fitness classes as a whole. I changed my mindset on it somewhat recently. I used to be adamantly opposed to it and actually like get really mad. I hate Ozepic more than group fitness classes, but it used to be 1A, 1B. Orange Theory and like F45 are like the two most popular. Do I think they are great for the general, like generic general public?
Yeah.
Not really. Just because, again, not specific, but fundamentally when we boil everything down, 60+% of North America is obese. So just fundamentally, it's better that people get some movement and get some health and fitness in than nothing. Even if it's for 2 hours and them getting yelled at Orange Theory or F45 and them fucking coughing up a lung. The reason why I don't think it's great for most people is just not specific. And like, they're very not able to do a lot of nuances. Like, you know, they're not able to customize a lot of shit. I think Orange Theory is way too intense for majority of people. Way too. It doesn't matter. Like, obviously my main niche is weight loss. So, and like heavy weight loss. So some people might be watching this for 300 fucking pounds. Don't do Orange Theory. But like, even if you're 200 pounds, but you never worked out before, it's fucking intense.
Oh yeah.
Right? F45, I worked there for like a couple of weeks. Like, I think it's a bit better than Orange Theory. But then again, like, you don't need to fucking superset and to fucking do all this hit shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think that's also like a female thing. Oh, I want to tone. So like, you need to like do all this.
You need to increase heart rate.
F45 is a bit better, but
I know a few people that have lost weight with F45. Like,
but then they don't go over. And the reason why most of this shit doesn't work, A, it's not customized. B, it's not really like specific enough to each individual, and you're not able to because it's fucking group fitness class, and that's why it's also like significantly cheaper. I don't even know what they charge. I think it's like $200 a month or something, or Orange Theory. But then they also don't really cover most, if not anything, with nutrition. What I know with F45 is they give you like a booklet, and they give you some F45s are actually collabing with like meal prep companies. So that's a bit of a different story. But for majority of them, they give you some like booklet, and then like, it's like very generic ass shit. And then the Orange Theory, I don't know or think they cover really anything. They have an app, and like, you can do like but it's not specific enough. So I'm curious on your take, because I went to culinary school
I didn't really graduate. You're like full. I don't call myself a chef. I just say I went to culinary school and I'm a good cook. But I'm not gonna like degrade the industry and say I'm a chef, because that's honestly like that's a you got to earn that shit.
Yeah.
I could probably say, like, I mean, my opinion probably is not like I'm not fucking Gordon Ramsay, but I could say you're a chef because you graduated and like you've been in the industry now for like half a decade or longer.
Yeah. No,
right?
yeah, I've been in the industry now probably going on 10 years this year.
So I'll come in close to a decade. How do you take your approach with like knowing what you know in terms of culinary background and then like using that towards like nutrition plans?
Towards nutrition plans,
or just in general.
I do get utilization from that. I have some clients that I come up with menu items. For the most part, what I eat, I know what I season it with, and I can easily give people recipes. So I can make copycat Chipotle. I can make anything taste good, right? Then I understand the substitutions to a point where, like, if I do like a Greek wrap, I know how to use zero fat yogurt to save on the calories, right? So I think that's the biggest translation in terms of the work ethic and stuff like that comes with it. I'd probably say patience. Patience is probably the biggest thing that working within a kitchen and to training, because you have to be patient with your clients and understand that they're learning this at the rate that they're learning it, and you're kind of their guide. They're blind, right? So it's like you're raising a newborn child almost. Whereas kitchens is you have to be patient, especially if you're working in a place like the Keg doesn't have a classical brigade, but I've worked in kitchens where I've started at the bottom. I'll start at the 12 o'clock shift for lunch. I'll work the lunch over, and guys who came in at 5 or 6 are leaving before me at like midnight. So I'm there doing like 60, 70 hour weeks, right? So at that point, you make the choice and you choose if you're going to be patient and probably get a plethora of knowledge that you didn't have before, or if you're going to just find a different job that maybe isn't following in that classical brigade style, but it still teaches you to be patient nonetheless, because you have to wait for your opportunities as people leave, as people get this. I think the biggest industry issue with kitchens is chefs and the rate at which people can call themselves chefs and not enough restaurants to have chefs.
Well, it's the same thing with like trainers and coaches.
Exactly. So you get a lot of these sous chefs who are like, how do I move up?
Yeah.
But chef doesn't move up.
Being a sous chef for fucking 6 months.
Exactly. So chef doesn't leave until the chef leaves, and usually chefs stay.
Yeah.
If you're in a good situation, why are you going to leave? And if the food's still good and you're still, arguably, if you're like a Michelin star restaurant, why would you lose your job, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Or leave. Unless you start your own business, which is impossible in this.
Well, in this economy, that's a whole other story. But yeah, it's very difficult. Especially as a restaurant, you got like what 5% profit margins. Like,
yeah,
let's be real. Like
people 30% food costs,
right? I mean, I don't know a fucking the Keg P&L. That's probably a bit different because it's more franchise model. So the reason why they're more successful is because they have everything narrowed down. They have procedures and they have very specific spreadsheets and like margins that they're gonna have to follow. But if you're just a Joe Schmo opening up your restaurant, no background knowledge and not even no background knowledge. You can have a master's degree in mathematics. You're still gonna have 5%, 10% profit margin if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Right. And people don't realize that's how much because of labor and cost of food. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I still like the Keg.
Things are not cheap.
The Keg, or let me not throw Keg under the bus. Like the Baton Rouge does not need to charge $100 for a steak. Right.
That's fair.
But that's probably the one caveat. But then they also have to keep the lights on. So there's a middle ground.
Yeah.
But they're also a business, so they're trying to make money, right? But that's actually what you said is the reason why I left the industry. It's brutal. Like it is. It's not. I compare it to like the army. Like only the strong survive. But the thing with chefs is most good chefs that survive this long are mentally fucking ill. And you're like the one that I know that is not a dick and that has somewhat of a social life, right? And it's like it doesn't completely take over your life.
So it's a cat and mouse game almost, because it is. I'll do have my nights, and this week actually I had a couple nights where I was like off the hinges, but it was like a very long week, like 9 to 9s every day pretty much, just with between training, between everything I was doing, and I was working that tennis tournament I was telling you about. So I'm at the tennis tournament, I'm playing softball for 12 hours both days, regular job tennis, regular job tennis, so it's just like back and forth, so it's just a headache, plus trying to find time for clients and setting people up
and like working out,
right,
and meal prepping and right. God forbid you have like a girlfriend, right? Yeah,
it's a lot to juggle sometimes.
I feel like every long-term chef is like divorced. Well, okay, maybe not divorced. They just don't have the greatest family life, but that's because it's like impossible to have work-life balance when you're a head chef.
Exactly. It is genuinely a labor of love, and I can't see myself doing anything else. I originally wanted to be a pastry chef, but that's even just being in the kitchen, exactly, right? So, because I have a huge sweet tooth, like I can crush sweets like nobody's tomorrow. And yeah, it just turned into overall culinary, and I did really well in that. And I always just liked making food. And I think when I went to New Orleans, actually, when I went for WrestleMania, the first time my uncle took me.
What, 30?
30.
Oh, that's one of the best WrestleManias ever.
The first one to go to, not a bad one.
Wow.
Yeah. Pin drop in that arena. But that's when I really started going out and trying food. Prior to 2014, I would order a hamburger plain. Like hamburger plain, hot dog plain. Now I'll do it for the calories. Bruh. But like, dude, I was like, wouldn't eat shrimp, wouldn't eat seafood, wouldn't even like look at it. Now you catch me like I was in Portugal ordering seafood platters, right? So I've really grown, and that's taught me to like actually like try things, and I'll always try something once, and if I don't like it, fair game.
No, that's understandable.
Right? But that trip really just put me into the whole food mindset, and I can't really see myself doing anything more.
So you're a perfect example though of like someone you could easily have the excuse and say I'm too busy.
Yes.
But yet you're still working out, you're still finding time to meal prep, and like as some like I work 80-90 hours a week, but my work is different than yours where it's not like you're also, for people that don't know, like being a chef is not like cooking is fucking labor. Like I don't care what someone says. Like
it gets hot in that kitchen.
You can't handle the heat. Get out of the kitchen. I mean, now you're at the stage where you don't need to do dishes. But like,
I never did dishes. I worked in my grandma owned like a Portuguese chicken place, a churrasqueira, and I just did like front of house and like kind of packaging meals. But Harvey's, I always did like fryer grill. So but I would help on dish. Like dishes, I'm something I can easily do.
Yeah, so like you have to build up, but it's labor. Like even whether you're doing dishes or you're doing cooking, it's labor. You're literally like sweating. You're moving so much, right?
Even the way our kitchen's set up, we'll set up a cart now for the busy days. But yesterday, one guy got cut, so I was the one grabbing plates for myself.
Fired or cut
cut off the night because he was already in overtime and it wasn't too busy.
Oh, okay.
So he got sent home early.
Interesting.
So I took I cover him. I'm the float, so I cover him when I come back on. Right. So he left at like 5:30. So didn't really have a guy to get plates, and I kind of like going back and forth. So picture like from here to the end here, like let's say 20 to 30 feet. Big stacks of plates. You're carrying them all day too. So it's a workout and a half too. Yeah. If you don't have anyone there running you plates, stuff like that, you're grabbing heavy stuff all the time.
So I say that to say like it's very labor intensive, whether you're doing dishes, whether you're doing the cooking. How the fuck do you have like balance? Because you could make the excuse, but you don't.
Honestly, like I'll always try either I'll get home late on right now I'm off like Thursdays, Sundays. Usually it's 2 in the week, but if I have my Sundays, I'll usually be off in the middle of the week back to back, which helps. Right. But if I'm working like doubles Monday, Tuesday, if I know I need a meal prep, I'll easily, I work at 9. I go to the gym before, whatever. I get to the gym at like 7:30. Right. Before that, I mean, I have a 2-hour break in between two that I choose not to use. But like during that break, I can easily just run over to Walmart, which is across the street. If I know I need chicken breast, grab chicken breast. Yeah. Right. And this is for anyone who works in kitchens and is like, I can't meal prep. You can usually make your food if you're on a break or you make your food at work. You could even
get a fucking rotisserie chicken if it came down to that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, but that's one of the things I find the time to. But like, I'll also like, if I need to, I'll stay up a little bit later because honestly, and I send it to my clients all the time when I start meal prepping, I'll have, if I know I'm making everything, like right now it was potatoes, chicken, cauliflower, beef. So I get those things in order. Potatoes take the longest, do those, get them in the oven. Cauliflower is roasted, get it in the oven.
That's Chef 101, yeah.
Exactly, right? Big pot of ground beef, just put the ground beef on, then season it, and then you're cooking your chicken. Well, that's hour and a half.
So that's a fair point. So that's actually a good segue for the next question. Like I know what you just said because we have the same like.
You understand
one thing is like time management. I think if you can't have time management as a chef, like or as a cook, you're fucked. Like
you're
and I learned that, and that was there was 2 things that I learned about culinary school. 3. One is that I hate the industry. 2 is that I make way too many dishes and I hate cleaning them. And 3 is time management. And I've always had good time management skills, but it's different like in terms of life and then in terms of cooking because you can't think of it the same necessarily. You have to like you said, you have to start with the longest and then go to the shortest, and then your mise en place, which is the Frenchy thing of
things in place.
I can barely speak English. Like it's you have to have all your accoutrement, all your little things.
You need to have all your stuff set up. Yeah, you got to know where the car is driving to.
So what are some strategies like as a trainer, as a coach, as a chef? Like what is your the strategies? Like what would you say is like some good ideas in order to Meal prep to
honestly,
save time or just in general?
I'll figure out what meals I want for the week.
Yeah.
To an extent, and how many calories I'm in. Like now I'm trying to raise them, so it's always like changing. Usually if I'm on a maintenance, I know how much. I mean, like it was 175 beef, 175 each all the way through for 2 meals, and then I'd have my breakfast that I would cook regularly. Right, but even my breakfast, I make protein pancakes, but I'll have pre-ground oats. Like I'll have everything
meal
ready.
Prep that,
exactly, right? Like if I wanted to, I could make the batches and have them prepped.
Or you can make the dry even and bulk it.
Exactly,
that's actually another good suggestion. If anybody like, some people prefer things like fresh, and I get that, but just to even save time, like let's say you have a protein, like let's say you like to make protein muffins.
Yes,
right? You could literally like just make a giant like 10x the batch of protein muffins.
Exactly,
and then that saves like a decent amount of time. To where it's like all you have to do is add like, let's say, cashew milk and eggs, and then you can stick it in the oven. That saves a decent amount of time. Or the same thing with pancakes, right? Instead, you don't need to fucking buy Nourish or like Kodiak mix. Make it yourself, man.
Yeah. So like my mom was bringing it up to me too that like freaking Costco has like Premier Protein pancakes. They have this. I'm like,
actually, those aren't bad.
They aren't bad. But I told her, I was like, nah, we're getting all the stuff in the States. I'm like, you think this is a lot? You should see the States. I'm like, the States has a better selection than us. Right? So I'll do stuff like grind that oat flour early. Make sure I have it, like I have enough for a week every time, right? And it takes me 5 minutes to do in a food processor. Good tip.
Like, but if anything you're doing for the cooking aspect, like if you're gonna do it once, you might as well just multiply it by 5 or 10.
Exactly.
It takes the same amount of time. Like if you're gonna make one fucking chicken breast, you might as well make 10 because you're gonna use the same dishes and it's gonna take the same time. It's going in the same oven.
Exactly. Unless you're nitty picky and you want to make everything every day, but I personally. I don't have time for that, and I don't think a lot of my clients have time for that.
Nobody has time for that, unless they're like me, who work from home for the most part. But even for me, like I don't have time for that.
I want to grab something and go.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why I love my ground beef meal. I just grab it and go.
Yeah, and
it's quick.
And you can eat it cold, but then it's also like you just stick it in the microwave.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I have like clients who do construction and stuff too, and they're like, I can't eat this. I was like, yo, I was eating ground beef and rice cold. Like, I don't know how you can't, to be honest.
I can attest that that is certain.
Yes,
that's like the thing of like cutting and like doing a bodybuilding prep show like that. I'm just not willing to do. Like some people will like be okay with eating cold chicken breast or like going to a restaurant like not eating with their friends.
You don't want a rice cake and jam and chicken breast to be your breakfast?
I could do the rice cake and jam. I can't do cold
chicken breast on top of it.
The only cold protein I could probably eat would be like deli meat. I could do that.
That's what I was doing before. A lot for construction.
When I was meal prepping, like I would go like golfing. I'd bring like a sub sandwich, right? But then that's high carb. You can't do that if you're on prep.
Yeah.
The only other thing would be like Greek yogurt. But then at a certain point, if you're like out in the hot sun, like it's gonna turn to soup.
Yeah.
Right, and then you're gonna have diarrhea.
That's another thing. The cold cuts, because like with the construction guys, I'm like, yo, when I was working construction, I'd make myself a fat sandwich.
Yep.
Like 3 eggs, chicken breast. But then one of my clients actually, he's technically autistic. Like,
what do you mean? I'm technically autistic.
No, he's okay. He ticks like 7 or 8 of the boxes of the ones that classify as autistic. So he found out the hard way that the sodium in all those all the deli meat, it actually affects your mental if you have some sort of precursor.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, and he was telling me that. So now that's been sitting in the back of my head when I apply that too.
Though. It depends on where you're getting. Like, there's a giant difference if you're getting like the fucking
if you're getting fresh
Walmart
stuff
shit, like versus like you're getting like I actually this is the only time I'll shout out Longo's on the podcast. Like Longo's deli meat section is solid.
I don't think I've ever been there,
bro. They have like hickory smoked turkey. Like trust me, it's actually really nice. But like if you're getting like the Walmart Deli Express section, brother, if you're getting meat in a bag for a fucking $1.99, how the fuck do you think that's good for your health? I don't give a fuck what the macros say. I don't give a shit if it's 100 grams of protein in one little circle. It's gonna fuck you up, and then it's gonna come straight out of your ass. It's gonna go right through you.
Do you guys know where I got my deli meats from?
Deli Express Walmart. Yeah, baby.
Exactly.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, that's not good. That's no bueno for digestion.
Oh no, I don't even think that was chicken breast. It said chicken breast.
Oh, you got like that pre-cooked shit from Walmart, like the Great Value.
Oh no, not the strips.
Anybody watching this like that?
Don't buy those
proteins, like bro, that's like so fucking gross. It's like all sodium nitrate, and it's like
and they were cooked like a week and a half ago and frozen probably 3 times.
Longer. Like you can. There's even like you can get like frozen chicken breasts in the Great Value section.
Yeah,
like that's so gross. Like just get raw meat and cook it. It's not a hard concept.
You can go to Costco and get a log of fucking ground beef.
Yeah,
and it's relatively cheap.
In today's economy,
freeze meals too.
If you break down like the cost. Actually, we should maybe get in on this, on the cost of value, because some people actually would appreciate that. Like, because we can talk, the chefs also know math and how to equate it, right?
Yeah.
So I break everything down for cost per dollar of ounce, right? Because that's the easiest metric to use.
Yeah.
I mean, we could use kilograms, like I used to do kilograms, but nobody fucking cooks in kilograms.
Exactly.
Everybody's cooking in like 6-ounce portions, basically.
I actually have clients now that weigh themselves in kg, and it's tripping me the fuck out.
Just multiply it by 2.2, bro.
I know. But it's just remembering that, because they'll open their mouth and be like, I'm 73 this morning. I'm like, what?
You're 73. Yeah, what'd you do? Fucking chop off a limb? Like, the fuck? No, but if it's, thankfully, it's like a low number. So, like, 2.2 of that would be like 160 or something like that.
Yeah. Right? So, it's just getting used to that, which is just funny to me.
No, I force all my clients to do it in pounds because I'm not bothering to do them.
Oh, yeah. Like, I tell them that's one of the biggest thing. And one of the philosophies that it had slipped me earlier, but I tell them all the time, like, if you work for the plan will work for you.
Ooh, that's good. That's a good quote.
Like, that's literally what I equate it down to. I'm like, if you want to work and you want to do the hard part of this, which is usually the meals. Like, I don't find the exercise part hard, but I do want all my clients to, and I tell them, you don't have to finish the workouts. Like, you should. But I'm like, if you actually have nothing left in the tank, and it's always emphasizing that training to failure, but not training to kill yourself. But you want to get to that RPM of like 8 to 10, while still at that 10th rep, it's feeling tough. But you still, if you have 3 sets left, you can crank out some more and then maybe lift up the weight.
I feel like, well, we have different niches. Like, you're overall like Gen Pop, right? And it's not like you haven't or not helped people lose weight. But I have to not contradict. I have to disagree to a certain extent, because for some people that are overweight or heavy and having difficulties having success, it's literally just starting. Yeah. It's not like, I fucking hated working out when I started. Yeah. I would dread it. If I didn't have a trainer, shout out to Tish, like, not happening. Yeah. Right? That's fair. Like, the first month, I was in agony. Like, because my muscles were so atrophic, and the DOMs, which is like, this is the thing that scares a lot of people away. Like, when I would recover from the workouts, my muscles would be so fucking sore. It gets better after the first month, but that scares so many people away to start. Yeah, I warn people all, like, I'm like, the first 3-4 weeks are going to be tough on your body if you're doing the workouts. Right? Yeah. It's not, I mean, it's not really a good sign if you did a good workout or not. No. But you should be semi-sore. Like, if you worked, like, think about it. You're literally tearing your muscle fibers over your chest or your back. Like, you should not be able to, like, just do 100 push-ups the next day. Because if you did, like, then you didn't do 100 push-ups, you have to build that muscle up, and that's why your carbs are so important. Yeah, but to contradict the point, some people just literally need to boil down the basics. Like, it's not a matter of just working out. It's not a matter of just doing the nutrition. Yes, probably most people, that's where they falter with the most. I think it's definitely easier to convince yourself and get yourself to work out than it is to be adherent to a meal plan. Fair. But some people just literally need to start, like, and that's why the podcast is start yesterday. Yeah. There's 2 best times to start. Today, or even better, would be to fucking start yesterday. Shut the fuck up. And exactly. Just, like, start yesterday. Just start. Right. But yeah, and then in terms of the meal prep, or in terms of the meal plan, like, 100% is not really necessary. Like, and I can say that even for myself. I don't stick to 100% of it. Yeah, me as well. Like, and now you have even more or more flexibility, more leeway, more nuance, because you're bulking. So you can fuck around a bit with the calories. And it's not like we were talking before the pellet. It's not like you're dirty bulking. You're eating all this cheesecake and brownies and all this shit. Yeah. It's really hard if you're eating clean, whole foods to eat a lot of it. Like, yes. Very difficult, because it fills you the fuck up. But a lot of people, like, they want to do 100%. Yeah. And most people watching this can probably do a diet, like, or a meal plan, whatever you want to call it, 100% for like a day, for 2 days, for 3 days. Yeah. But then they stop, and then they lose motivation, and then they quit, and then they give up, and then they don't do shit. Exactly. So I like to use, I'm not the best at math, but if I can understand this analogy, other people can too. So yeah, if most people probably eat 3 meals a day on average, right? And now I'd say there's probably more benefit to eat at least 4 times a day. And then people get scared and they're like, oh my God, I don't want to take all my day and fucking eat 4 times a day. But it's just better for digestion. You could split up your meals. Anyways, let's say general population eats 3 times a day. 3 times 7 is 21. 90% of 21 is like 19. Something like that. Yeah. Right? Who the fuck is eating 19 or 20 meals on point? Nobody. At least that I know. At least like most of my clients, none of them. Literally fucking none of them. I am the only one that I know that is 90%, because I can tell you wholeheartedly if I ate 3 meals, 19 out of 21 would be on point.
Yeah.
Right? So then when I tell them this, if we do half of 21 is like 14. Okay, I know I'm not that bad at math. It's like 66% is 14.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, just start with that. And then even they're having difficulties with that. So then it's just like, start with fucking 7.
Yeah.
Literally, stick to a fucking consistent, like, eat one good meal every day. And it's just all boiling down to, like, habit building and stacking and being consistent. And I just wanted to bring that point up, just not to, like, just argue for the fucking sake of arguing, but also makes for good content. But, it's because, like, not everybody is just like, I love working out. I can't wait to go to the gym. Some people fucking hate it. Right?
I get asked, I come back from my breaks on Mondays and Tuesdays and people look at me like I'm a fucking madman. And they think I get pissed off. Like this week I got pissed off. Rightfully so. Some guy was doing some stupid shit on the line. I was just like, dude, you're fucking up the whole flow right now. You never worked this day and the whole flow is always fine. It was busier than usual, but doesn't change the fact. But I would come back from my breaks and these guys are looking at me like, how do you find the energy for this shit?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I just go. I'm like, I get in my car. The second I'm in my car, you better believe I'm driving to the gym, right? I'm like, so I just make it to my car. If I don't make it to my car within the right amount of time, because I have a 2 hour break usually, or an hour break. If I have an hour break, chances are I went in the morning. But even still, to do that, like leaving at 9 or 10, usually every night, and then getting home, sleeping, eating my meal, right? So it's just finding a routine that works for me, right? But it is the most difficult part is like getting those meals in, especially now when you're in a kitchen, you're Saturdays and Sundays, you're there 12 hours a day type of thing.
Oh yeah. But I mean, it's a very good point. Like in terms of like where you're at in terms of you still make the fucking time, right? It's like if anybody could say I don't have to, I mean there's a lot of fat chefs, and like I mean the story is like, oh, you shouldn't trust a skinny chef. Technically you're right, but like also you don't want your chef that's cooking for you to be like about to pass out with a heart attack or stroke or diabetes.
Yeah. But
there's a lot of out of shape chefs, and that's literally because they don't have fucking time.
Yeah.
Right.
And now your body's holding on to that fat as well, and that's a lot of clients I'll get that also say that, and they're like, I don't eat any carbs and I'm just not even skinny or like ripped. I'm like, yeah, because your body is now in fight or flight mode. You need to eat a carb so it can let go of some fat. I'm like, because your carbs are what's going to give you muscles. I'm like, and since you're not eating any carbs, you're just going to look skinny fat, right? So I try to get people not to like think carbs are the plague, because a lot of people come to me thinking carbs are the plague.
Oh, brother.
Which are...
Oh, brother. Carbs
worst.
are not the devil, all right? Carbs after dark is not the devil. Bread is not the devil. Pasta is not the devil. Carbs as a whole is not the devil, right? You are not going to be fat because you ate cookies and brownies. You are fat because you choose to fucking eat them all the fucking time. You have no self-control. And that saying could be the same fucking saying, you are not fat because you're eating bread. You are fucking fat because you're eating a lot of bread, right? And you can put in the gap for pasta or whatever. But just replace the carbs with protein, right? I know that's easier said than done, but if I have to hear one more person say, I can't eat this much protein, I'm going to jump off a bridge. Like, it's not fucking hard. You're just making it more difficult because you're choosing to eat more carbs and you're choosing shitty protein options or non-existent protein options. Yeah. Right? If you're eating fucking potatoes, there's no protein in potatoes. Add some fucking protein to your fucking potatoes.
I have this guy who works with me, and he's pretty for his age. I don't know his exact age, but he's got to be at least 50. Okay. Or high 40s, early 50s. And he's in good shape, good physical shape. He goes to the gym, always talks to me about it. Went to get his checkup. Doctor told him his cholesterols are high.
No shit.
Right? His cholesterols are high. Whatever. This guy gets a baked potato every single shift with butter and puts the whole fixings on it.
Yeah, wonderful.
He came to me telling me he can't have baked potatoes themselves anymore because of the cholesterol, or he needs to dial back the eggs. And I was like, eggs are not the problem. Eggs are your best friend. He's like, yeah, you can't have a lot of them though. I'm like, on my bulk, I eat 5 to 8 eggs a day. I was like, I'm completely fine. I have I get my blood checked. I do my checkups. Everything's fine. Heart rate's fine. Cholesterol's fine. Everything's the thing. So there's something that you're eating every day. Either you're overeating in these fats, or you're just not even realizing you're ingesting these fats.
Well, there was a study done,
but it's not bread.
No, there is a study done debunking the eggs.
Yeah,
like there's 8 is a lot, but eight of a lot of things, 8 of anything is a lot.
Yes,
but no, if you're having eggs consistently, that's not gonna lead to high cholesterol numbers because it's a natural whole food source.
Yes.
What is in an egg? An egg. What is in chicken? Chicken, right? But for all the viewers, I'm curious. Pause this right now and leave a comment down below. What do you think the solution was? I don't know. I know the answer, even though Josh and I have not talked about the story before. What do you think is the answer to the solution of the 50-year-old chef to dropping its cholesterol? Is it eat less eggs? Is it not have the baked potato? Or
table bread was thrown in there too. He said he can't have bread anymore either.
Is it eliminate everything he loves? Or is it to make a healthier fucking substitution? Because he's eating Malaka. You can eat the fucking baked potato
by
without the butter. I have a client, bro. God bless you, Shane. You make me laugh every time you send me this shit. If I had $1 for every time he's like, I can't have rice or potatoes without butter, I just can't do it. I told him, I'm like, Shane, I can't tell you this more bluntly. You will never not be fucking fat if you continue to add fat sources to your carbs. Now, I'm not saying I could make him a fucking meal plan to incorporate that. And I did. And he's like, it's not enough butter. Motherfucker, you're fat. You're literally adding fat. You are so fat right now. You're adding fat to your fucking carb source. I'm not, okay, just for the record, I'm not this much of an asshole. I just get passionate and frustrated because people are dumb. But that's my job to help them. Anyways, to summarize, Mr. Chefy dude, Josh's chefy friend dude.
Server.
Okay.
Not chefy.
Cholesterol fucked. All right. Then he thought, like the most general population, let me just cut everything I enjoy eating. I can't have this baked potato because my cholesterol's fucked. I can't have this fucking table bread because my cholesterol's fucked. But the actual solution is to have the fucking baked potato just without all this fucking stupid shit on it.
Yeah.
Right? And
it's
actually,
simple.
a baked potato is a fantastic carb source.
Yeah.
Right? Popcorn is a fantastic carb source. If you're not adding fucking butter on it.
Yeah.
Right? Table bread, that's debatable.
Yeah.
I like sourdough bread. Actually, see, the only thing with bread that I have an issue with is like how it's manufactured. Right? There's a giant difference, and you know this as a culinary, like you went to culinary school. I literally made bread. We fucking rose it and like made and glutenized and leavened.
Yeah.
Shitty bread is garbage for you. Like, look, just do me a solid. Go to any bread thing at Walmart or any grocery store and like in a package that's
Can't
not freshly
anything
made.
On it.
I don't know what it's 97 fucking ingredients.
Yeah.
Right? Like the first fucking, what is bread made of? It's fucking flour and gluten and like maybe some egg. It depends. Obviously,
egg
maybe sugar, right? And some water. It's like 5 fucking ingredients and then 700 different ways. Yeah. Depends on like the viscosity of like it's like the same thing you're making
temperature of the room, viscosity of everything,
the temperature of the water, and
now you know why I'm not a pastry chef.
And the hydration formula. Yes. Fuck God bless the pastry chefs. Point is, sourdough bread is the only bread I will tell people to have, and the reason being, it actually has and helps your gut microbiome because of the way it is created, because of the what is it called? It's been a minute. Because of the thingy that they make. It's like this, when you add water to your yeast and then it blooms. The starter? Yeah, the starter. Okay, because of the way the starter is, and then basically the starter is like this like thing that you add into the bread. I'm just
it's what makes it sourdough.
Yeah, basically, right?
Yeah.
And then but sourdough, if anybody likes bread, I have fucking zero issue with anybody consuming bread. Don't add butter to the bread unless you really, really, really want to and it's on your plan and you could like figure out your macros.
Add peanut butter to it instead.
Well, add PB2 actually.
Add PB2.
Powdered peanut butter. But point is,
some Greek yogurt. That's a hack.
The biggest summary for this: bread, carbs, not the devil.
Yes. No.
Bread though. If you really, really want it, there's many better substitutions or better health, like just things that are going to also fill up your appetite. Bread's not going to fucking fill you up. If you took, what's like 2 slices of bread worth, like 40 grams of carbs, something like that, right? If you took the same equivalent and you had potatoes, you're going to be so much more full from the potato because the potato has fiber.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I'm not saying, look, I'm not telling you to eat like fucking eggs with potatoes every morning, although that's normal, right? But, what's it called? It's a matter of making more healthier substitutions, and not sacrificing everything you love, because then how is that ultimately going to get you success? This is a matter, something like fitness. This should be like a sustainable lifestyle plan or approach, right? You can't go from 0 to 60 and like that server dude just thought and jumped to the quick conclusions. It's like, I have to cut out everything I love.
Yeah.
Right. And like, no. Yeah. It's sad.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I try to tell them. And then it's like in one ear out the other. So, I mean, I'll help you. Like, but you ever hear the saying?
You can only lead a horse to water. You can't force it to drink. My favorite quote.
Exactly.
Right?
I'm not watching you drink, motherfucker. I'll give you the fucking info.
You give the formula, but then that's the thing.
That's already me being generous,
right? You did your thing. The difference is, the only caveat to that is that then if that guy was your client, which he's not, then you kind of have to grind him and like follow up and be like, yo, bro, why didn't you do this? But then, but it's not. He's not paying you. That's not your job. You went above and beyond, and were a good Samaritan.
Exactly.
A good,
I'm just giving you advice.
Acquaintance.
Yeah, I try to be open to anyone there. Like, I get fitness questions all the time. How can I get rid of these, like the little
love handles,
little love handles, right? Like, I feel like I'm older now. My back fat is like, my low back has like more fat than my upper back. I'm like, do back extensions, weighted back extensions. I'm like, I'm trying to give you like just pointers and stuff. I'm like, until you tell me you want me to be your coach, then I can't. I'm not giving away free game.
No, that's actually no, but that's the good move. That's like the law of reciprocity. That's the way it should be, because you can't can't force someone to do something. They're asking you generic fitness questions, but then you could be a dick and say, "Pay me, I'm not going to answer."
Exactly.
Or you could help them. They might maybe 1% chance that they actually do what you said, and then if they do it, then they'll be like, wow, oh my God, this guy actually knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I do. Exactly. I'm breaking the fourth wall here, by the way. That's what I do with social media. I give out all this free shit, because then if that one fucking person actually follows anything I've said for free on the internet, and they get results from it, they'll probably reach out for help.
100%.
Because they're not really going to go.
Because now they trust you. They have a certain level of trust with you, where it's like, he gave me advice once, let me try it again. Well, okay, now it works 3 times. It's like they don't have the whole formula. They have the one piece of the puzzle. They tried that one puzzle, and they want the whole formula. Yeah. Right. And then it's also, like you said, like, they built more rapport, because like they're literally listening to me yell in their ear. Exactly. And if they're still watching, like, I don't know, there's an hour into this, if they're still watching after I've yelled in their ear hole, they probably like me, or they like you. That's fair.
Or maybe they just like looking at us. Stare deeply into our eyes. But now we're going to take a quick commercial break.
And we are back from our not really commercial break. We had to use the potty. Puffy went to the potty.
Get your water in, people.
Yeah, definitely. That's I saw a funny joke one time where it was like, the reason why you should drink so much water, obviously the health benefits, but the second reason is you just don't have time to like give a shit about anything else, because you're going to be having to find a bathroom all the time.
Oh yeah, it's the worst thing at work.
When I
get my water in, everyone notices, because I'm like, yo, watch my section, I'll be right back.
How did you genuinely, because you did a bodybuilding show, right? How the fuck did you manage that? Because if people don't know, like, when you're cutting, like, one way or an easy way to get lean, you have to drink like 6, 7, 8 liters, right?
Oh, I was making sure to get, so it was crazy. Like, my prep was like, I was up at 5 a.m. every day, because I was working breakfast at the time. Oh. So I was working construction a bit, like, leading up to it, but like, I started at the Super Bowl. Super Bowl was my last. February 13th was my last like cheat day. Like, I went ham. Like, I smoked a bunch of ribs, went to town, and then May 21st was my show. So 16 weeks, right? So, but the water only got tough like the week, like your peak week, like you're getting close to the show, and it's funny because we get to Sudbury on the Friday. I'm there. My coach drives up. He gets there. Right, he's like, yo, we're going to Five Guys today. Like you're having your last cheat meal night before, right? Carb up, right? I'm like, sick. He's like, order a double burger. He's like, eat until you're full, right? Like, he got me a large fry. It was great. Fails to mention that I can't have any liquid. I had already not had any liquid that night before. Extra salt on everything. Shit. Extra salt, right?
That's terrible.
I had to sleep. Worst sleep of my life the night before the first day.
Oh, that's awful.
Horrible. I woke up, I messaged my trainer, I'm like, yo, what's the plan for this morning? He's like, send me pictures of you. Send him pictures of me. Tells me what I should eat, what he thinks I should eat, right? My weight. He's like, yeah, you can have 1 cup of water. And by cup, I mean 250 milliliters.
Holy shit.
In the morning. And that's all I had, right? And then right before we went on stage, I had a candy bar. For breakfast, I had what was it? It was a rice cake, 2 rice cakes with strawberry jam.
That's typical.
And then like 80 grams of chicken breast.
Wow.
Just like, and this is already like at the point where we're not seasoning, we're not adding salt. Like, this is just bone chicken breast. And I promise you, I put that chicken breast on top of there like it was a peanut butter sandwich. And I just crushed that. And it was disgusting. Like, just dry, no water. No water. I've already drank my water for the day.
Wow.
But yeah, it was that whole 16 weeks was just like me against myself. That was just something I wanted to do to get that competitive itch back.
So how much water were you drinking before the cut?
Before I, like, once I started cutting, but didn't get to like week 4 before I was like cutting water down, like to an extent. But usually, like, my days would consist of fasted cardio. I'd have my BCAAs in the morning, my glutamine, like my greens, whatever, all my pills. And I probably had like 2 Popeyes, like so 64 ounces before I even ate breakfast, right? And then at work, I didn't really have anything. Like I was probably going through at least 10 Popeyes bottles a day of water. I'd have to say, like rough estimate, because even just between working out and stuff was probably 5 or 6 total.
No, that makes sense. Okay,
right. So I drink a lot.
When you were like doing the chefy shit, how did you pee? I'm actually, like seriously.
Well, with the breakfast, it was fine because it was there, and I actually didn't have to pee that much.
Interesting. Like, I guess your body is just like weird.
Yeah, it was weird. So like I don't remember having to pee often, but I was peeing a lot more. But it was just the fact that I was I was peeing a lot, but it was just the fact that it was constant. So if it wasn't during a rush and I had to pee during a rush, like that was the worst. If I had to take a piss during a rush, I was just killing myself. And I'm like, okay, someone watch my shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking blow up.
Yeah.
Right? But it's never gone to that point. And now it's just like a natural thing. I kind of tax myself at work when I have washroom breaks, because I'm like, I need to have at least 3 washroom breaks. If I know I'm not having enough water. Right? So I kind of like mentally tell myself that. Right. But now I've been a lot better with water. And that's a big part of it too. Like taking creatine and stuff like that every day. Like you have to be hitting your water.
Well, most people, I mean, it's unreal. Oh, other than protein deficiency, is that a word? Hydration deficiency or lack of water consumption is so low. Like I'd say the average that clients tell me is like less than 2 liters.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like for most people, you need to drink at least 3 liters of water. And when you're drinking caffeinated beverages, especially one of like coffee, that dehydrates you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
That's like, that doesn't really count as a liquid. I'll count like, you want to have Coke Zero, like, I mean, maybe not a liter of it, but you want to have like half a liter of it. That's not the end of the world, right? But no, people need to drink more water. There's so much benefits to it. And then you sweat so much of it out, either working out or moving, or then also like
just everyday life. Everyday life. Like you go through like your energy. That's why I tell, like, for my clients, it's just easiest for me if I tell them to weigh themselves in the morning fasted, because I'm like, your body's at its most natural state with nothing in it, is completely depleted.
100%.
Right? So, and things can fluctuate. Like you could have had a snack of this, and then at the end of the night, it affected your weight.
Yeah.
You could add more water, less water, you're heavier tonight, right? Which it all works hand in hand with weighing yourself in the morning. But it's, the water consumption is just low for people just because they don't have time. And I'm just like, just drink water. Just drink water. Like that's the key to starting, at least. Right? Like you should be
start yesterday, drink water.
Like, drink water. Like the amount of guys who work with me, like most of us drink water. Right? And that's fine. One of my boys he puts aminos in his stuff. Like there's this one guy, and he's a little bit of a loose cannon, but he'll have like one of the shaker cups, like the Boston shakers. And he'll fill that. I kid you not, he gets iced tea, I want to say like 6 times a shift, an 8-hour shift.
Is that guy diabetic yet?
I don't think he is yet.
It's going to be.
But he's definitely like, he won't drink anything but iced tea. I've never seen him drink water. Like, it's insane. And I tell him this, and he's like, no. I'm like, even the diet drink, bro. Like, get Diet Coke or something. At least we have that, man. Like, if you need it that bad. But a lot of the people that come to me and they've lost a bit of weight, it's like, it always starts with like, I cut out sugary drinks. I cut out this, and now I just have diet. Yeah. I'm like, that's all those calories that you thought didn't exist, that were just a beverage. Beverages can't do anything. You have 5 cans of Coke a day. That's 500 calories, right? And
no, it's more. If
way too much sugar.
Is like a can of Coke's way more than 100 calories.
Is it 150?
No, it's probably more than that. Like we're talking about a can
355,
of Coke, 351 milliliters.
If it's more than 150, then I'm still, but like that's a lot.
140 calories.
Yeah, but so 750.
40 fucking grams of carbs. That's crazy.
And how much of sugar?
I think like
40 grams.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I tell people, I'm like, so just go to your food scale, weigh out 40 grams of sugar.
Yeah, it's literally
like, and you see how much it is.
All carbs are sugar.
And you're like, this is a dessert to an extent, right? Like,
not to an extent.
It is.
Yeah, like it is.
Like, and it's like, dude, I don't know how.
I would rather die. So people think like, you're gonna get cancer from like diet pop or that. Like,
no,
if you overconsume anything, a lot of it, it's not good. Like we said with the eggs, if you have 8 eggs a day, that's a bit much.
Yeah,
but if I have 1, 2, or 3 Coke Zeros a day, I'm not gonna die.
No,
I know 1,000% I will die from depression if I don't have that.
Yeah,
and I know 1,000% I will die much sooner from diabetes if I didn't have the Coke Zero because I had the regular shit. Mm-hmm. So drink water, and also don't drink your calories. Don't drink your sugar. Don't drink your calories. Like, what the fuck?
And like, I have clients who like drink and everything. And I try to teach them how to like plan their day accordingly, like how I would plan mine. I would just go heavy protein. And if I know I'm going to have at least 5-6 drinks, I'm counting them each as 100 to 150. Right. So you take that from, those are all carbs. And I tell them, I'm like, so just adjust somewhere. I'm like, get your protein up and then enjoy your night. But also don't fall off the rails completely. Right. Because that's the hardest thing. You wake up the next morning, you're hungover, and then boom, what do you want? You want McDonald's breakfast. I know, because I do. I crave it. I crave those little chicken muffin things that they have.
I like
they make
McGriddle.
a McGriddle.
I love the McGriddle.
Dude, the McGriddle is
and
they don't have it at Sherway. They don't have it at Sherway, the McGriddle. They have breakfast.
What?
They have breakfast, but they don't have the McGriddle. It's a travesty.
That is a travesty.
Like,
you need to complain to corporate.
Like, and literally at Walmart they have it. The one in front of Walmart they have it, and I'm like, dude, you're right here, guys. Like, we got to be
the McGriddle with a hash brown in it.
Unreal.
Double egg.
Get the
protein up.
Double egg, yeah. Because their breakfast sandwiches aren't that bad.
No,
theoretically,
the macros are horseshit.
But
theoretically, we're talking about 7 grams of protein and 500 calories.
That's fair. If you have the McGriddle and everything too, if you're just having the English muffin with an egg on it,
those aren't terrible. Like if you're doing like a sausage, not a sausage, like if you're just doing like ham and egg and you get rid of the cheese, and you're doing that with like the little McMuffin thing, like it could be worse. Horrible. 2 of those for breakfast, not the end of the world.
Exactly.
Right? It's better. Like my dad used to get, for the longest time, a cinnamon bun every day for breakfast, and then by like 1 o'clock he would like black out and be like, "Oh, I'm tired. I can't. I'm
all that sugar high."
No, it's because he had literally just a fucking donut for breakfast and nothing else. A coffee and a fucking donut 6 hours ago. I'm like, Dad, what'd you eat today? He's like, oh, I just had the cinnamon bun. I'm like, well, fucking go eat something.
Bruh.
Right? Eat some So now he gets the Timmy's Farmer's Wrap.
Oh yeah, I love me some Farmer's Wraps. Yeah. When they're on the app, I'll go to Tim's and get a couple Farmer's Wraps. So I haven't done breakfast, or if I'm feeling special, I have to get it. I'm feeling.
How do you describe feeling special? What does that mean?
Feeling special? Oh, feeling special is like when I wake up and like certain people are working in the morning and I get there and it's just good vibes.
Just good vibes.
And I'm like, yeah, we're doing this today.
Why not just tell your shift manager you want that like all the time, or it just doesn't work like that?
Nah. So I always, Monday and Tuesdays is like my staple of opening now.
Yeah.
So as clients come in, I want to like start scaling down to 4 days and getting my 40 hours there still, while still being full time, but giving myself an extra day to focus on my training.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a set schedule to an extent, like my Mondays and Tuesdays. So I'm always the one opening, which is bittersweet because I know tomorrow I'll come in, I'll have some steaks to do. Won't be horrible. And then Tuesday, I know we'll get railed tomorrow night because our numbers are so close. So everything needs to be done on Tuesday. So I kind of prepare myself ahead of time as well. But
so in terms of the culinary, not degree, and the career, like what is your ideal aspirations, or like?
Originally it was well, I love working at the Keg. Yeah. Like they treat you well, like the pay's well, everything's good. For me, in terms of culinary, originally it started
corporate. Send it to corporate.
Yeah. Stitch that. No, like originally it was a food truck, like a southern style smoked, like getting a smokehouse in a truck.
Good luck with that
thing. Yeah. Exactly, and that's why I said it was. But
you're gonna blow the fucking food truck up. Hotbox the food truck.
No, we'll be fine. But no, it was like a smoked idea. But it's just It's almost cheaper to actually just open a restaurant than it is an actual food truck, just based on the permits and stuff you need.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe a restaurant one day, maybe, but we'll see like how the training goes, everything, because I don't know where I'll be in 5 years' time. Yeah. I always see myself working in kitchens regardless, just because it's so ingrained in my nature, and I genuinely just love doing it. Yeah. Like whether I'm actually cooking, whether I'm doing prep, like whether I'm even floating and just running shit, like doing prep for the next day, meals for the next day. Right, I just love being in the kitchen, and like I just love cooking. Like when I'm at home and I actually cook, because after 10 hours a day, chef doesn't want to come home and cook. Definitely. I fucking hate it. Whatever. Unless I'm with my girl and it's like, I'm making something for us to eat. Like I'm actually cooking at this point, which is usually on like a day like I'm either not working or it's like a day off, because
it's a labor of love.
Because it's like you have to get the good ingredients, you got to get everything good, and it's not as easy as having a pantry full of like fresh ingredients, right? Like no one has that. Like if you have that, great. You have a lot more time than me. Yeah. But that's the only time I'll actually go in on cooking. Or if I do like a UFC night, UFC 306 coming up.
Which one's that?
That's I think it's Whitaker and Kameev.
Whitaker. Oh, okay. Because they just had it yesterday. Was like 305.
It's Taporia Who's Taporia fighting? Is it Taporia Holloway?
Yeah, Holloway.
The card's stacked. So that day, I'm definitely cooking some sort of food up.
Nice.
Like it's gone to the point where those nights though, depending on how many people come, if it's more than like 20 people,
20
I'm ordering
people?
FIFA.
Holy shit.
Oh, if it's like my whole soccer crew and like none of us are working,
holy shit.
Like they'll be like, and if my actual friends come, it'll be like 15 at least.
Wow.
Right. And those days I'm just like, yeah, because every time I've done it, like I've brought food from the keg. I've like done nacho chips. Like it's never enough food. So I'm just like, yeah.
Well,
so
you got 15 soccer guys.
Yeah. Like it's like ridiculous.
Or it's just like, you should like just do like cost per head or ask everybody to like donate like $20 or something.
Oh yeah. Like they'll pitch if I ask for them to pitch. That's not the issue ever with them.
It's the issue
but
with my friends.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I mean like, hey,
no, I know.
I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. But
no,
like,
I know.
Like, man, what the fuck?
I'm very much so the same way. I'll always put my hand in my pocket for people I care about. Like it's
no, that's just always, like it should be a non-negotiable. Like
yeah.
what the fuck? Like I just pooped the steak out of my ass. Yeah, I didn't pay for it or anything. What the fuck? Like
oh God.
Yeah, that pizza. Yeah, I called Jesus. He just delivered it to my front door.
Yeah, no, but yeah, usually it's pizza, but if I'm by myself and with my friends, like I'll cook something up, or if I'm in the mood, because like even like doing like if I tell the boys like UFC 306, I'm staying home the whole day. I'm waking up at 4 a.m. to start a brisket. Everyone's pitching on that goddamn brisket.
Yeah.
Like a brisket, a full brisket, 12-pound brisket is like $160.
Oh, I thought it was like more.
Like if you get like a Wagyu brisket, like you're talking $300, $400, $500.
We're getting a Wagyu
right?
brisket. I'll pay for half of it. I don't give a shit. I'm just eating half of it. That's the only rule. That's a fair rule.
That's fair. If you eat half of it, you get to have half of it.
That's like the food competitions. If you finish, you don't have to pay.
Bruh. I could not do one of those. Like I get full so fast.
Bro, I ate 15,000 calories yesterday at the X.
Jesus Christ.
I walked 30,000 steps though. So
that's good.
I'm good.
That's good.
I evened out,
Did you have the Fruity Pebbles chicken tenders?
I did not have any of the retarded, disgusting shit.
Oh.
No.
Not the deep fried hot dog?
Ew. The one thing I did want to try,
I mean, deep fried chicken tenders with Fruity Pebbles is just...
That's gross.
That's just Fruity Pebbles.
That's gross.
That's just Fruity Pebbles.
That's unnecessary. That's what that is. I did have a croissant, or a cookie croissant.
Nice.
I had 2 of them.
That's nice. Tiny Tom's Donuts?
I had 2 of them.
Nice.
Like, well, packets. Like, they come
four per packet.
Some people don't know.
Those are bite-sized.
Yeah. So about, I got polished off those. I had 2 chocolate caramel apples. I love those.
I can't have those.
Why?
They just bug my teeth.
Yeah. But I come prepared. I bring a floss stick. Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah. That's smart. That's pro plays right there.
Guy.
It's pro plays right there.
And what else did I do? Well, I also went to Yorkdale Mall before, and I had like a bunch of. I went to Szechuan, and I had
nice.
Like, I don't know. I think it was like 60 ounces of chicken. Like I had like the Szechuan beef, and then
nice
like, sweet and sour chicken. And I don't think anybody wants to hear me like describe what I ate.
Your full day of eating.
Yeah,
you ate a lot of food.
Yeah, I mean, for if anybody's actually curious about like a full day, I have a vlog coming out, which will be out before this podcast. And it basically was just like I filmed a podcast with someone, and then I worked out with him, and then I went to Chipotle with him, and then I did train clients. That's it. So maybe you don't have to watch the video. I just described it all. But like if you want to know more about me and like a day in the life, there you go. I'm gonna actually film another one on Thursday. I'm going to the Fan Expo with my buddy.
Ooh. My brother's going out there. No, I'm not going. I think my brother's coming down. He's got some wrestlers he's gonna meet. I know he's looking for the Ivan Drago Rocky pop vinyl to get signed.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's trying to meet Lundgren.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he's gonna be there. Yeah. So I'm going on Thursday, and then I'm going to sushi with him. But that's actually a perfect segue. So we both like wrestling, we both like comics, we both like tattoos. Is there anything in terms of like tattoos, wrestling, sports that's like influenced your life, career?
That's influenced it directly? No. Those things have influenced tattoos I've gotten.
Okay.
Like I have a few tattoos that are like Marvel based. Just everything on my body kind of means something. But a few that are Marvel based, a few that are soccer based. This is more like a life and death arm.
Yeah, I gather.
But yeah, there's just like anything that I find, I don't want to say stupid, but like it gets a stupid reaction out of people because they're like, it's on your body forever. I'm like, no
way.
I had no idea. Fuck, I'm screwed. But no, it just makes me laugh because I'm like, yes, I'm like these things because I guess people see me and they immediately assume like, oh, he's just tatted to be tatted, like whatever, right? So it's not the case by any means, right? So it's just funny when they get that reaction. I'm like, oh yeah, they'll just start pointing at my individual on this arm more so because it's just patchwork, but they'll point at individual, what's this, and I'll have an answer for pretty much every one of them.
That's good,
right? So it's like I understand the culture, the cultural shift towards tattoos now.
I lost the meaning. The first like 6 I got were like meaningful. Like it was like my dead dog and my dead grandpa.
Yeah.
I thought people just were dying, and then I got Puffy, like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, when I lost 100 pounds, and then I got bored of waiting for people to die, and so then I just got a bunch of cool characters that I can like relate to.
Yeah, like I mean, it's a way to express yourself as well, and you like the artistic value. Like what's going on my leg now is just all the Japanese and like the same client.
You're gonna join the Yakuza.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
No, but
Portuguese man in the Yakuza.
So pay it forward, the training that I gave my tattoo artist, lost a shit ton of weight. Yeah. Great. Offers me a leg sleeve. I unreciprocate. Like I kind of figured if he was going to offer me something, it would be something like that.
Yeah.
But a full leg sleeve is like, come on, dude. Right? Yeah. And that's expensive too. And so I was like, yeah, no, like let's do it. Right. And you do have to be like a little mentally ill after getting that back of my knee right now, just line work.
I know how you
never
feel.
Do it. Never get your leg tattooed. Don't be me.
No.
Don't be Puffy.
No. Get your leg tattooed. Here, for ladies and gentlemen, take it from two professional idiots. Get your leg tattooed. Just don't get your ankle, and don't get your Achilles, and don't get your knee. Do not get just the whole area of the knee. Don't fuck with that. On the knee,
I have
the side of the knee, behind the knee.
It all hurts.
You're going to cry. Like
I didn't cry though.
Okay, I didn't cry.
I bit my wrist numerous times.
No, I yelled. My tattoo artist has gotten complaints sometimes because someone thinks like he's murdering me. Yeah, like penetration. It's not good.
So today we did my right outer thigh.
Yeah.
And I prepared for that being numbed.
Yeah.
So when the koi fish went behind my knee, it was a spicy time to say the least. I was clinching a lot. Yeah. Like I felt it. I was in a 50 Shades of Grey movie. Like it was pretty intense. No, it's
worse than that though, because there's no pleasure in it.
No, it was like all like once he started it, I felt it, and I'm like, fuck.
And then you're fucked. You can't do anything for an hour.
I'm just sitting there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck this back of the knee, because it's like he would go from back of the knee and then numb.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, back of the knee and then side of the knee, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. And
like,
he was.
It's so bad pain. Like, I don't know about you. I just squint my eyes. Like, it's so bad. I can't even, like, block out the pain with, like, going on my phone or something.
Honestly, the numbing cream I got is actually, like, so good. Like, next time I need him to specify where he's putting everything so I know exactly where to numb it. Because I know if I do it the same way I just did, I'll probably have a chance.
Or do what I do and don't take any chances and just fucking lubricate your whole leg. I swear to God, when I
went through 4 10-gram bottles today, so
bro, I sent you the link. You gotta get the 10-pack of Dr. Numb.
Nah, bro, the TKTX that this girl from Marketplace had, I spent $100 and I got 18 bottles.
What's the percentage of
5%?
Okay, so then actually that's really good.
Oh, it's like
so then just lube up, bro.
But I want to lube up. But then he was joking today because he had the 2 flowers that were gonna go on top of my thigh, and then he's like starting to look at one. He's like, maybe that could fit here, and he's putting it on my shin, and I was like, I was like, nah, you got me fucked up right now. I was like, we are not starting this right now. I was like, I didn't say it out loud, but I'm like, do not even put anything for that stencil on there, because I was ready to tap, even with the numbing cream. Like the first hour and a half were great. The last half hour behind the knee, small line, which just feels like literally you're being pierced.
But I have bad news for you. This was just the outline.
Oh, I know.
So. Like, I got Thanos tattooed about a month ago, and that was like same area.
Yeah,
that's colored, dude. That's bad.
Oh, I know.
That's like super bad.
I know. I have at least 5 more sessions, at least. Yeah, at the very least. So I know I need to get more numbing cream, and I am 100% like I've all of these except for
the arms don't hurt.
Except for my chest and sternum. That's when I use numbing cream because I literally couldn't. Like I was done, and this was after a 6 hour.
Did you get your elbow tattooed?
Yeah,
that hurt.
Nah,
really.
They both didn't. This one's kind of.
Well, you're not really on it. Yeah.
But
no, that one is.
But this one, this one's full on. But yeah, I only use numbing cream for my chest. So when people are like, "Oh, you use numbing cream," I'm like, "Yeah, motherfucker, I use numbing cream because honestly, I've gone to that point where I'm like, I've gone through the pain. I just don't want the pain now."
No, but I can say wholeheartedly, like most people can't sit through the pain of the back of the knee or on the knee, even with numbing cream.
Oh no!
Like I've experienced like I had the skin removal surgery. I couldn't move my fucking abdomen for like 2 weeks, right? That is equivalent pain to me getting the knee tattooed. Like full on, like hardcore. I had a 4-hour surgery. That is equivalent pain to like getting the knee tattoo.
Yeah.
But that's not to say to scare anybody off from getting tattoos. I would just say the same thing I tell with anybody. Like get your shoulder. Start with your shoulder. Start with like your arm. You're not going to have a lot of pain there, right? And then like don't do color right away. Or if you're going to do color, do what like I normally do now, which I learned by trial and error. You go for 2 different sessions. You go for the outline and you go for like the black and gray, and then like you're doing, like you go for the outline, you go for the stencil, and you let the skin heal for the next week or 2, and then you come back for the color. Because if you're doing it both in the same day, imagine getting a sunburn and then fucking tattooing the sunburn. It's not good.
It's not pleasant at all.
Right?
No, it's crazy. Now I can't even think about like not using numbing cream just because of the convenience of it. And like if you just give yourself the time, like I'm going back on Friday now, and I'll confirm where I'm tattooing.
Yeah.
So I can apply to all those areas.
Just fucking lube up. Give him free reign.
Right. So I'm going to tell him, I'll be like, yo, whatever you think, because he took full pictures of my legs. So I'm going to be like, yo, circle where you're going to tattoo and where you plan to be tattooing. I'm like, and I will plan accordingly. But in terms of like getting them, I think my leg is where I'm going to stop. My mother would love for me to get a back tattoo.
Are you being serious?
Yeah. I think
Your
I might
mom wants you to get a back tattoo.
Yeah. That's the only place she wants me to get a tattoo. She loves back tattoos, but I love back muscles. It's my favorite muscle to show off. So I don't think I'll ever get my back tattooed.
Yeah.
But I saw like a Japanese like mask thing today that looked really nice, and it looked like it would fit.
Black?
Yes.
Yeah, like that's something like that. Oh,
his tattoos are sick.
His tattoos are sick.
Those are crazy.
He's got out of most like Brody King's up there as well.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like it
not Cody, bro.
Oh my god, Cody's tattoos, bro. That guy,
that
he looks
tattoo.
like the fucking guy from Smash Mouth, like the singer from Smash Mouth, like like he literally had like the Smash Mouth singer, like he got his logo tattooed, like
oh my god,
on the same spot, and it's he's dead now, but like the guy who sang the Shrek song.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's actually a lot of Randy Orton's got good tattoos.
Yeah.
But he just did the sleeves like 20 years ago. Like it's very bland. Jeff Hardy had decent tattoos. He got a little out there now.
I like Punk's tattoos. I love Punk's tattoos. Punk's tattoos were the main reason I did this arm the way I did this arm. Yeah,
it's very similar.
Like even with the waves and stuff.
Logo, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm a Pepsi guy too.
Are you
a big Pepsi guy?
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, I'm a Pepsi guy.
Compared to Coke, wow.
Compared to Coke, yeah. I find it sweeter on the tongue.
I will. Okay, here's my thing: regular Coke over regular Pepsi, 100%.
No, regular Pepsi over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Regular Pepsi over regular Coke.
Diet Pepsi over Diet Coke all day long.
That's fair.
And I will do Coke Zero.
I find Coke to be way more carbonated almost. Like you get that spicy feeling on the tongue.
I like Coke Zero is my favorite. And I'll do Coke Zero over Pepsi Max, but I don't hate Pepsi Max. I hate Diet Coke. So I'll take Diet Pepsi all day long.
I mean, I usually get Diet Coke if it's mixed in a drink. I prefer having Diet Coke in my drinks.
Versus Pepsi?
Versus Pepsi, yeah.
That's so fucking weird. How can you taste? They can't taste the difference.
Yeah, you can. In that, yeah, because the rum because I get rum in diet, so I feel like the rum makes the Pepsi almost sweeter. Save the calories for the rum. Yesterday, I'm not even gonna lie. Yesterday, I had a few too many margaritas. It's my boy's birthday, but we absolutely crushed him. We gave him like a tequila, a Jameson, and a vodka back to back. Like he took them all on. I have it on video, which I'm like, yo, you're a soldier. But yeah, I'll always do Diet Coke for the drinks if I can. If I have no option, Diet Pepsi, whatever. But I just find it tastes sweeter.
Well, we covered a lot. I guess we'll leave with this. Give some like top tips for like lessons you've learned throughout your life, your career for like fitness and I guess culinary. There's no right or wrong reason to answer this. It's kind of open ended.
Yeah. Lessons. I mean, we talked about it a bit, but just being patient and understanding that it's a marathon and it's not a sprint, right? Like we talked about, like, you know, comparison being the thief of joy, right? If you're comparing yourself to Johnny, who's lost 20 pounds with a much faster metabolism and a different athletic like archetype versus you, who's never worked out in your life or never done sports, like those are just those are incomparable, right? So that's the biggest thing that I would preach.
We're on a podcast, by the way, so they have to hear the audio.
Oh yeah, I get that. Yeah. That's just adjust the seat. Apologies, but no, yeah, it's definitely a marathon over a sprint, and just being patient with yourself, being patient with your body, being patient with your coach, and understanding that they have to do the math to figure out your body for you. So they can only give you what you need if you're honest with the program.
Would you recommend for people hiring a coach?
I would 100% recommend, even if it's for 6 months and you're starting your journey and you just need guidance.
Yeah.
it will definitely help you, and definitely like it's way easier that you can turn open someone's app and literally everything you need is there and everything is trackable in that one app for you, right? So if you can track your meals there, you can track your steps, you can track your weight, you can track your progress pics. Makes it easier.
Are you using a system?
I use Trainerize.
Okay, so yeah, I have a different platform, but that's
right.
Yeah.
But so I use that, and even now with their new meal prep thing, I can actually come up with more fun meals, which has taught me. But at the same time, it's like still trying to find that balance of like, yeah, it's got to still be a set meal plan, because they can give you 7 days of different food. That's not realistically going to happen.
And nobody's going to cook 7 different times, like,
exactly.
People say they want variety, but then when it comes to meal prepping or
right, so
cooking it, they're not going to do it.
With a lot that I recommend, like I ask my clients, and I just tell them, I'm like, I can set you this 7-day meal plan. I'm like, just kind of for the first week, I'm like, just kind of take your weight, look over the meals, try and start hitting those calories for the first week, and kind of pick the meals that you like. And then from there, I can build an actual structured one where this is your one meal that you liked, so we're going to meal prep all these. These are going to be your meals this week. And if you want it to switch, like we can switch it easily. Like I don't mind doing that. The more like concrete you are with your nutrition, the better. I would say to an extent, the better results you have if just tracking wise, like you'll just be able to know way more about your body, right? Like for me at this point, I know fats sit better than me, like better with me than carbs, right? But that's just over trial and error and like seeing how my body feels while pushing more fats over carbs. You know what I mean? So it's it's literally your life, and it's a long game of learning your body.
Well, that's very poignant. It was very well put. I like to end every episode to quote Sean Evans from Hot Ones. You know the YouTube show?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
I'm aware.
We got this camera, and this camera. Let the people know what you got going on, but like I guess mainly talk to that camera.
That camera?
No, that one. The fucking one. Oh.
Yeah, what do I got going on? Stormbreak Fitness. I'm pushing that. Besides that, I'm trying to figure out a marketing scheme for said business, so stay tuned for that.
Should become a model. Just done. Just solution over. He's going to become an Abercrombie and Finch model.
Yeah, so coming to an Abercrombie near you, oversized t-shirts. I could have worn the Young LA today, but it is Young LA, but it has got no branding, but sponsor me.
No, don't. I don't like their company. Sorry to ruin it for you.
Oh, there it is. Okay, don't sponsor me.
Reverse psychology. 100%.
But yeah, and I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, so all his details, all his stuff will be in the YouTube description. If you're watching on Spotify, go over to YouTube. I'll hyperlink it so you can conveniently follow the man on Instagram. I will confirm with you whether you want the personal or the business or both, or you'll let me know. But other than that, this is now the time. Well, I kind of ask you to do me a solid, especially if you've literally watched this entire episode to the end. Thank you, I appreciate that. Can you do the algorithm stuff? Like, especially if you've watched the last 2 hours of this, like you're a real one, like you're an OG fan,
real,
genuinely. Like, just do the like. It's absolutely free. Like this whole thing. There's no ads. I know it's a crazy concept. There's no ads. Well, that I didn't put on the video. This is on YouTube. Like, I'm not getting paid for YouTube. There's no commercials. There's just free shit. So click the like button. Do the subscribe thing, because if you like this, then you're probably going to want to subscribe for more, so you get more like this. And drop a comment below if there's any questions or anything you liked about this or you don't like about this. I don't know. And then if you're on Spotify, you could drop a comment on Spotify now. It's a new feature. Cool thing. And then if you've listened to 3 episodes, which by now hopefully you have on there, please leave a review, because it helps with the algorithm stuff. What?
5-star.
I don't know actually if it's 5-star on Spotify.
This is a 5-star podcast.
This is like a 3.9 podcast. This is like, it's hit and miss. Like, there's some good ones, and if I take all the stuff that I've said on the podcast and I clip that into like 2 hours of a YouTube video, which I'm going to do in the future, then it's a 5-star podcast. But like, you have to sift through all this shit, right? But that's, I mean, like with any podcast, it's a fucking conversation. We can't just spit
you gotta watch the whole thing.
Yeah, we're not like freestyling where it's just like bar after bar after bar. Like
what are some podcasts that you listen to?
I don't. Not anymore. Like, most of them are just wrestling.
That's fair.
Wrestling, fair. MMA. Shout out Ariel Hawani.
Yeah.
Other than that, because I don't watch wrestling, I don't have time. I'll just listen to that shit on 3 times the speed. Yeah. And so most of the other stuff is just like YouTube education, guys. Yeah. Like, but like very rare. Like, I don't have time.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for watching. Do all the algorithm stuff, and until next time, I guess I will hear you, or you'll hear me, or see you, or however in the next one. Peace.